How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the watch. Well, not the watch along, it's the starting 11. I don't know where I'm at the moment. I'm with James and Cecil. How's it going, lads?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, locked up. Can't let me out. I'm locked up. But we're here. It's match day. It's different. We're all in our homes, and I'm feeling all right there. I don't know about confidence wise for the game, but I don't know how I kind of feel yet. I haven't really figured it out. I'll probably have a definitive answer once the team is out. But I'm good. How are you? How are you, Turkish? You all right?
Yeah. Apart from only having one leg at the moment, I'm good, man. I'm
Yeah,
good.
we're proper
Cheers.
battered and bruised, aren't we? I was the last man standing. I got us through Southampton,
Can
and then
barely get a lineup at me.
honestly.
Right.
But we're here.
Yeah.
Thanks to the production team, we've put together something pretty bloody good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
big up production.
looking
Yeah,
forward
so
to
this is
Big
the
today.
up
starting
production.
11 show. What are we expecting first off before we get into it, the details and whatnot? What's the one expectation you want to see today? Is it the same lineup from the weekend? Is it a bit of a change?
It's not what I want to see, but he'll go unchanged. If he thought that team didn't need changing after Everton, he's not going to think it needs changing after Southampton. um, I prefer seeing dynamism midfield, which is why I'd rather have Lokonga in there over Xhaka. But I think he likes Xhaka for his positioning and his discipline and his left foot and all that. And I think he'll stick with him. And I think Lacazette will probably wear the armband. So I think he'll go unchanged.
So where do we see the leadership group playing? Up front, middle,
So I'm straight on that Turkish. And the first thing I'm looking for is who's wearing the armband. I promise you, that's the first thing I'm thinking. Boy, out of this leadership group, at least four players. Who's gonna be wearing it today?
Well, did you
Um,
hear the rumor, Cecil? Apparently, they kind of all cut up the armband and just passed a little bit.
James, stop, because I trust you so much for your opinion, bro. Don't, because I'll be looking for little pieces of the captain's armband in the game. Like, bro, who's got the
It's
C?
actually in
Who's
their
got the?
shorts. Yeah.
No, I'll be intrigued to see the 11 as well because I did my start 11. I put it on socials. Got the people getting angry at me. Steph, what are you smoking? Why is El Neni in there? Yeah, so I put El Neni in the midfield alongside Partey, and I
Really?
think that rattled a lot of people. I can't lie, it actually rattled a lot of people. But I think he did well against United, and I wanted him there over Xhaka. That's all. Obviously, I like Lokonga and I like Maitland-Niles, and I think they could also be a healthy replacement. But I don't know. I thought I'll put Elneny in there, but it just rattled so many people. Lifestyle.
We've got a few super chats here as well. I might as well get some in. Gunner Station says, making Gabriel captain gives me the same vibes when Vermaelen became captain. He wasn't able to handle the pressure, and that's when he actually played. Well, hopefully, if Gabriel was to be given it, he would be able to. I do understand what you mean with failures in the past. Another one is saying, I'm sick as hell with the regular flu. Thanks for keeping me entertained in the meantime. Love for the love. I always say it. I always mean it. So let's get on this leadership group thing, yeah? I was on a stream earlier, so a lot of the people that subscribe to my channel know how I feel already. I see a few people saying it was a funny stream earlier.
What Turkish? I was watching a lot of it.
Yeah?
Very good stream.
Yeah?
Yeah, I watched it as well.
Kept
I
it
was there watching it
professional.
as well.
You always do. You always do.
Always do.
I don't know why you sound surprised.
So stop me if I'm wrong. Is this leadership group Xhaka, Laka, Holden, and Kieran Tierney?
Yeah.
Well, of course. Who else?
I actually can't believe it. James, help me out here, man. James, help me out. Because we had a poll yesterday on AFTV, yeah? Kieran Tierney by far 40+%.
Yeah.
The runaway leader. There's polls on Twitter. You go to 9 out of 10 polls on Twitter. Kieran Tierney, 60, 70, 80% of the votes. You look at the leadership group that's been installed now for the rest of the season, and you've got one who's gone at the end of the season, Laka. You've got another one who should have been gone at the end of last season and the season before that in Holden. You've got one you couldn't sell for more than 12 mil in the summer. And then you've got Kieran Tierney. Why has the decision not been made now? Is it the right decision, James, to wait until summer, or do you think a bit more of a decisive decision now would have made more sense?
I don't know. We were on the stream yesterday, and I wanted them to be bold. If you're bold enough to strip Aubameyang of the captaincy, be bold enough to appoint a new one. If you do operate by this whole leadership group thing, then why couldn't, I'm just making it up as I go along, but it sounds like they are too. Why couldn't they just demote Aubameyang to like a level below? Do you know what I mean? Laka's ahead in the pecking order now. I just, they've got this kind of this leadership group thing. I saw a great stream. I think it might have been on James Alcott's channel. He was saying it's all right having leadership group if you've got too many leaders. We're not that. And I think that was a great point. I just think I understand why they might want to take their time in a perfect world. If this was the end of the summer, so if this was the end of the season, they're just going to give it a couple months till the new season. Maybe I'd get it, but I prefer they just appointed a new captain and just rip the whole band and just do it properly.
Get it out of the way now. Set a captain now so he can start getting to work. For me, over the last and I mentioned this on my channel, James, you probably heard it. A captain's not meant to be voted in by players or the player's favorite. A captain's meant to be the middleman between management and the players, in my opinion. It's meant to be the guy that sends messages both ways, a guy that both sides can trust. That's a guy that makes sure the balance is there, the happiness is stable, and any concerns, any risks are eliminated before they're turned into issues. But nowadays, it just seems like give it to the guy who's most liked, or let's have a vote for it and see who. For me, that doesn't work like that. Cecil, what do you think about captaincy?
Captaincy, we spoke about in the stream we did when obviously me, you, James and Robbie, about when Aubameyang lost his captaincy. For me, it's an important thing. I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, when I was playing, the captain was normally a senior player, a player that everyone respects. Again, the middleman, like you said there, between the players and the manager. Any problems, you go to him and he discusses it and normally comes with the solutions. And he's someone you look to when you're playing in the game to kind of protect you and be the voice. But I think now the game's changed so much that it's hard to say. When it comes to this leadership group thing, I do understand it. I must say, I understand Arteta trying to bide his time in making this decision. I think a lot of fans and people have put a lot of pressure on who's the next captain at Arsenal. So I do understand it. I don't understand the players in the leadership group. So some of the people like likes of Rob Holding, which I don't know what's like
captain today.
Lacazette.
James.
Lacazette. I'm not Kieran Tierney, but Lacazette.
Cesc, I think you make a great point there. Like almost, it's less about whether you have a leadership group or a one-man band or whatever. It's just about getting the personnel right. And if Arteta came out and said, "There's a core of players I'm going to listen to," they include Tierney, Ramsdale, Gabriel, Thomas Partey, and Bukayo Saka, and one of those five will be my captain and vice captain next season. I think we'd all actually be quite encouraged by that. It's more the personnel. And I think you're right, Granit Xhaka, I've never known a player to do so little and be a captain. And what I'm sorry for people who really like Xhaka, I know there's off the field stuff, I get that. But if we're punishing Aubameyang for, being late and whatever's gone on that we don't really know about, we know very publicly about Granit Xhaka and the way he lost the armband. We know very publicly about the mistakes he's made on the pitch. We know of the lack of influence he's had on the team since he's arrived, really, if we're being really honest. We also know about him, so Rome it's nice here, you never know. Someone who wants to be captain of Arsenal, wear the armband and be part of our future, says, I'm not answering questions about that. Now, I'll get you don't want to lie because you don't know what your future holds. And in fairness, he probably wanted to go and Arsenal fans were happy. Maybe that was an arrangement that he was kind of happy to come to, but it didn't work that way. And now we're saying he's one of the leadership group. For me, that feels strange. You mentioned Rob Holding. Rob Holding, I like Rob Holding as a personality and I actually think he's not as bad a player as people say. But, he's not going to play every week. And when Saliba comes back, you think that puts Rob Holding even 4th, 5th in the pecking order. So there's a lot of questions around quite who's in the leadership group, but clearly Arteta is looking more at off-field things than on-field things. Clearly he's looking at the players that are respected, the players that are liked, the players who are good communicators, the players who are organised, the players who, for whatever they offer on the pitch, maybe off the pitch, they do set the highest standards. Maybe Xhaka and Holding are on time every single day for training. Maybe they are the last to leave. Maybe they're the ones who want to better themselves more than anyone else. And yeah, the talent's not there with like a Saka or a Smith Rowe, but you know they work the hardest. Maybe there's other things, but I can't say that I, from the outside, can see it personally.
Yeah, James, I agree with you. I want to piggyback off that a little bit. Just the fact that, again, we speak about Xhaka, who was supposed to be off to Roma. You spoke about there Rob Holding, who's nowhere near first choice centre back. We even look at Lacazette, whose contract's up at the end of the season, so he may not be here. I don't expect him to get an extension. He might do, but I doubt that as well. These are players that are part of this leadership group, and they might even be here. By the end of the season. So it's very confusing. And on top of all this leadership group captaincy talk, the heavy links were to Martin Odegaard, which then threw me off even more. So I don't know what's going on at Arsenal, and who's really going to be wearing this captain's armband, going forward. But it's a decision to be made. I'll be intrigued to see what Arsenal decide.
I'd love to see Tierney walk out of it today. Let's get some more super chats in. Strip Bear says, "Want to see you die, but will accept the draw, babes." I think Strip Bear's a Chelsea fan, so you can understand why they're saying that. Another one here saying, "I honestly think no one in our squad should have it. I'd say Ramsdale, but I think he's still too young. Should we maybe focus on signing someone specifically to be captain?" I think that should have been done already, if I'm honest. But I do understand what you mean about signing a captain, because that's what I was saying a couple of years ago. There's no internal captain in the making in this side. Would have to sign one and hope he grows into that role. Tierney was one, Partey was another. Unfortunately for me, albeit both have had injury problems, Partey for me is not a candidate at the moment. Tierney for me still is, even with his injury problems. Odegaard captains Haaland. I think he is perfect for Arsenal. People are really underestimating his leadership qualities, mate. Captain in Norway and Haaland being in the team is not Arsenal Football Club. It's a very different beast. I'll be honest with you. International football is different to club football.
Yeah.
The demands are a lot greater week in, week out in this league, in this country as well, with the media on top of it. So it's massive. Brandon says, if Xhaka is made captain after everything, it's a sackable offence. I actually agree. End of. Only two players could get the armband for me, and that's Tierney or Gabriel. And that's been the two kind of out-and-out candidates. I think James was favouring Gabriel yesterday. Cecil, who was your favourite?
No, I was favouring Gabriel. James was favouring Tierney. Okay. I think that's what it was. I think it makes sense. I think there's a lot of things popping up now. Obviously, that his lack of English could be a problem, but he's been working on it. He does communicate and training. Arteta has said it is improved, and for me, it just looks like a natural captain. I speak about it all the time. When I'm on the pitch, there's certain people I want to look to protect me, give me the advice. I mean, we look at some of the people have mentioned, Odegaard, Lacazette. For me, not the people I'll be looking towards. I'll be looking towards Gabriel. And yeah, I said even Kieran Tierney would be my second choice, but Gabriel for me, I think he seems like he has the right mentality and the coolness to not cool. Let me not say cool. Wrong word. The calm and composure to hold the armband in this Arsenal side. I don't want to use the word cool. Fuck this cool shit.
I'll be ranting about you in the next stream, bro. I'll be like, Cecil's talking about cool captains again.
You know what, Turkish? I know we've got the 11 coming out imminently, so we'll cut to that in a sec. But there's no excuses for Arteta to get this wrong, because whether people think of Odegaard, I know the 11's coming out right now, but I'll say this quickly. Whether you think about players like Odegaard or whatever, Odegaard and Lokonga have been captains for either their nation or Anderlecht or whatever. Gabriel, Tierney, Ramsdale, Ben White, what he's done at a young age in the Premier League, played championship football. There's a lot of leadership potential in that squad. So even if he's got to give it time for it to nurture, fine. But there's, he can't get this wrong, because there are some actually really good options there. Anyway, I'm just hearing that the 11 is out. Do you want to hear it, guys?
Yeah, go on, let's go.
Run it.
Tomiyasu, White, Gabriel and Tierney. Partey and Xhaka. Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka and Lacazette wears the armband up front. So it's unchanged.
Unchanged, yep.
Unchanged. Yeah,
I'm not a gay. Like, obviously, if it's a choice out of Laka, Xhaka, and Holding, I'm going to give the captain's armband to Laka. Yeah.
yeah.
But with
Yeah.
half a year left in your contract, and the fact, and this is a fact, that Arteta went into the season, you know, with Lacazette as the backup striker. Now we're heading into the crucial December period with Lacazette as captain. It just goes to show that there's still a lot of messiness behind the scenes that really needs to be ironed out. It's unfortunate, you know. I hope we do the business today, and we're not talking about captain come tomorrow, because we've been talking about a hell of a lot over the past 5 days. But it's still disappointing for me, man. Like, for me, the Arsenal captaincy means so much. I've seen players, and albeit it's been a long time, legends wear that armband and talk about it so highly. Even till this day, when they talk about the Vieira and Adams, I'm looking at in particular, you know, it means so much to them. And now it's just getting tossed around left, right, and center. Oh, it's your birthday. Here you go. Oh, 6 months left in your contract. Here you go. Why not? Oh, you need a new contract. Here you go. Oh, do you want it in your contract? Yep, there you go. Just like,
Sorry to cut you quickly. Just guys, read the bench out as well. Just quickly, I just seen some of the comments. Okonkwo on the bench, Holding, Tavares, El Neni, Maitland-Niles, Lokonga, Smith Rowe, Pepe, and Nketiah. Just for
what's really gone on the radar to talk about another day is that Leno's not been on the bench for a while. Do we know why?
He's not available. He's injured. He's still injured.
He's injured.
It was a tight quad a couple of weeks ago. I mean,
yeah, I get it.
I don't know if I yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I believe. Yeah, no, I don't know if I believe that, but that's what's been
a classic medical injury. Where just when you're doing your test before, you get that when you're signing contracts. That back to buy Lev because my quad's gone.
But he's probably chilling in Germany, man. He's probably looking for his next move in January.
And to be honest, I don't blame him. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm sure if he was available, he'd be on the bench. But I do think he's probably off. But yeah, look, the 11 is kind of what I expected, really. It's not what I necessarily want, but it's not far from it. I think that team is good enough to do the job. The big thing is Smith Rowe. Obviously, Arteta's not rushing him back, which is good to see. Do you guys think Smith Rowe merits a start tonight?
I had him in my 11.
It's hard, like you said at the beginning. If you didn't change it after that abysmal performance against Everton, then you wasn't going to change it after beating Southampton 3-0 at home with bits of your best football all season. Emil Smith Rowe deserves a place in the starting 11, no doubt. But I understand why he didn't change it.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm glad he's giving Martinelli an extended run.
Deserved as well.
I'm really happy about that. I think that's really deserved. And you know, you almost can't say something good about a player without slagging off someone else, then the whole fan base hating you. But I still see rawness in Smith Rowe and some of the stuff. Yes, he plays with tremendous maturity at times. I actually mean more on the ball. There's a little bit more conviction behind Martinelli and what he does. Let me put it this way. When I look at Saka and Smith Rowe, I think, bloody hell, you're super talented for 19, 20-year-olds or 20, whatever it is they are. Yeah, they really are, and they've carried us. Martinelli, I watch, and sometimes I think he just looks 25, 26, like he's playing some of his best. You know, he's going to be playing some of his best football, you know, in the coming year or two. And I don't know. I like seeing him in the team. I think he brings a different energy and a different unpredictability. And I think really the best Arsenal side Arteta can put out somewhere has to have Martinelli in it. But I've only really felt that the last few days.
Coming into the season, I said, like, if you look at our 3 attacking positions behind the striker, we have 5 players that I think would all be happy to see 3 of. That's Martinelli, Emil Smith Rowe, Saka, Odegaard, and Pepe. All 5, I think any 3 were intrigued by it. You know, they have enough quality to produce something. It's just that we haven't produced much in an attacking fluidity sense yet. Hence why I understand the criticism of Arteta there, because finally we have got intriguing, you know, attacking players. It's just about knitting it all together now, and it just hasn't worked yet. I'm still interested to see Martinelli up top eventually, you know. I mean, our striker problems are evident to see regardless of today or tomorrow or this weekend. We're going to need to sort it out at the end of the season. I think it'll be interesting to see if Martinelli can, you know, cope up front. Maybe later on in the game when Lacazette eventually comes off, because he usually does come off under Arteta. We might see that. We might see Martinelli move up top, Emil come on, and maybe we see the 4 youngsters in the 4 attacking positions. Again, it's not fair to judge 4 youngsters carrying Arsenal Football Club at times, as well as others in the side. But it's intriguing to say the least. I want to know if Martinelli can work up top, or are we looking at a left winger coming inside for the next few years?
Sanchez was at Arsenal a good 2 years before Wenger put him up front.
Yeah.
He played for Chile up front before. But Sanchez was always very good with his back to goal.
Yeah.
I know people might say it's a lazy comparison, but I see similarities in the way Martinelli and Sanchez play. I think Martinelli, if he can get a bit better with his back to goal, I remember Sanchez was in football terms, he was quite a short player, but he was so strong. He was so strong and looked after the ball so well. I think if Marte can add that, because he's got the ability to beat players. If he just adds that to his game, I think he'll become a terrific striker. Should we go through this West Ham 11? Interesting here. Fabianski in goal, return to the Emirates. Soufal, Dawson, Diop, and Masuaku at the back. Souček, Rice in midfield with Bowen, Lanzini, 4 now, starting behind Mikel Antonio.
On Martinelli, he's got a tough task on his hands against Soufal. That's for sure.
He does. Do you know what? So does Saka against Masuaku. I like Masuaku this season.
That's the thing about him.
He can, but he's very physical. He is, his discipline's not massive for his positioning. But I tell you what, he's a physical player though, and it'd be interesting to see him up against Saka.
Can I ask you
I like Lanzini as well. Go on, Jeff.
Sparked by the combined 11 that Robbie did with Nicky yesterday. Who's got the better midfield? If you look at those central three.
I'll tell you the double pivot, they have a better Souček and Rice.
Yeah, Declan Rice has been I think he's been classed. He has been classed this season. He's been very, very good. I didn't think I'd say that. Partey, in my opinion, when he came into Arsenal Football Club, was head and shoulders above these names. But the proof is in the pudding. Rice and Souček have built something together. They've both been vital at different times throughout the last couple of years for West Ham. I mean, look how much goals Souček popped up with last season. Look at Rice this season. I can't lie to you. If you ask me, do I want any of our two or Rice and Souček, I'll be taking Rice and Souček. Yeah, so would I. And on top of that, we can't say this for our midfield. They've been very consistent. I believe Rice has played every minute of every game for West Ham as well. So he's been in there, and he's a baller. I think he's the main focus of playing, getting through for West Ham comes through that midfield there. So those two for me, James.
Knowing that, guys, how do we approach the game? Because if you look at the way West Ham beat Chelsea and beat Liverpool in the league, I know they beat United and City in the cup games, and that's not to be scoffed at. But if we're focusing on those league games, which in fairness were at West Ham's home ground, were at the London Stadium, how do Arsenal approach this? Because two teams tried to attack them and got caught out by a West Ham side that are resilient at the back. They got quality going forward, and both lose that game. I think they both lost 3-2.
Yeah.
What do Arsenal need to show West Ham respect, or do they need to go and chase it? But we kind of know West Ham can do at the other end.
I think we need to find out West Ham's going to show us respect first, because we're a very different entity to Liverpool and Chelsea and these teams. I don't think they're coming into this game against Arsenal like they would have done against the top three, let's say. So I'd be interested to see how they take it. You look at our first 20 minutes against Southampton, so poor. And if Moyes and West Ham look at that and they seek some of the same advantage in the first half of the first half, then they're going to go for it, because West Ham's a different entity to Southampton. If West Ham get a foothold of the game, 20, 30 minutes of the ball and possession and pressure, they will probably find, a leak and get a goal out of it. So I'm more interested to see how West Ham approach the game. They're away from home. They haven't got a good record at the Emirates. But in terms of a top four battle, if Arsenal win today, it can be very demoralizing for them. As good a 2 years as they've had, these sorts of games, mentally, character-wise, it does test you. So as much as it's a test for Arsenal, it is a test for West Ham too, to see if they can, they've beaten two ahead of them. They deserve to be in the top four. If you ask me about any other team outside the three who deserves that fourth spot, it is West Ham. But you lose today to Arsenal, you're out of it. Tottenham win their games in hand, you're further down. And it looks very different. That's what the league table kind of is this season.
Let's look at the league table while we've got it. Because that's what it means. Obviously, with the postponement of United's game at Brentford, we know Spurs have been very unfortunate with COVID as well. Arsenal have an opportunity to, I call it, we talked about some forever Arsenal, didn't we, Turkish? Just put points on the board. Now we know games in hand means the opportunities for extra points, which means leapfrogging us. But in this league, as we were saying, nothing's a gimme, and actually just getting points on the board is a start. Just getting there and not having it's what we were saying. You'd rather have the points than the games in hand. And we've got the opportunity to jump into fourth, but we've had that for a couple weeks now, haven't we? We've had a few opportunities. What do you think we'll do it, Seth?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest. This West Ham game, this game against West Ham, I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I want to be confident. I really do, but I still have just flashbacks to the Everton game, and I know it's a completely different game. A couple of weeks ago, we had a result after that, but I can never trust this side. The consistency is so up and down that it never gives me confidence when Arsenal are about to play. So I am worried. I think it's the perfect time to capitalise, but it's always the perfect time for Arsenal to capitalise on the gap. So I don't really know. I'm kind of in a just let's get ready for this game, and I'm excited to see what happens. But just going back as well quickly to the West Ham thing that you were speaking about earlier. I think if we win that battle in midfield, boys, I think that's we should be able to get a result in today's game. I think, and Antonio hasn't scored as many goals. He's definitely been on form. He hasn't scored many goals for West Ham this season, but he has been a problem. A lot of goes through him. I don't want to see him bully our defence at all this game, like we saw at Chelsea or when we saw at Brentford. I think that's key. But we stopped that midfield and his supply. I think we're in for a good game. Last year's game when it was 3-3, that was spectacular. But fortunately we didn't get a result. But hopefully we can today. But yeah,
beat them. We beat them 2-1 start of last season. We weren't very good. We weren't very good that game.
And then we went down and played. Yeah, they went down at the other game.
Odegaard was massive in that game.
What's that, Turkish?
Odegaard in that game was massive. He dragged us back into it.
Oh, the 3-3. Yeah. Yeah, he was massive.
Yeah.
Which is just a reminder that if you let Arsenal play, they can be dangerous. And we've seen that, Graham and I break this all down on tactical insight. It was staggering that Southampton took the game to us in the way they did. Because there's one thing West Ham doing it, because there's quality in that team. You could see why it would disrupt Arsenal. You could see why. Same with Everton. I know the form Everton were on, but they've got some quality around the pitch. And if Arsenal aren't at it, and they do, and they press us into mistakes, they've got the quality to capitalise. Southampton, with a lot of players missing, in fairness, didn't. We played our football in the end, made it look very easy. That's why I'm really curious what West Ham do today, whether they just want to keep it almost boring just for the first 20 minutes, or whether they see Arsenal as a bit of a wounded animal. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if today West Ham outclass us and Southampton ends up being just another one of those really poor sides we beat. But if we can put in a performance today, get 3 points, 2 goals, that would really not be a bad result. To leapfrog West Ham with where they've been and the things people have been saying about them and all that, be fourth going into tomorrow night's fixtures. I think that'd be pretty bloody decent.
I'm very intrigued to see how they're going to come out. I really am, because obviously they drew to Burnley and that was a poor game, both from both teams, if I'm honest, but West Ham had a lot of chances. I'm very intrigued to see if they're just going to come out at us and just go for it. Like how kind of Southampton did against us as well. Like you said, that first 20 minutes was so poor from Arsenal. But are we better when teams come out at us and we catch them out, or we bet? It's a tough one.
I think we're better when teams try to catch us out. I've still got the league table here, guys. I've just got to say that I've been saying that the sides chasing the top 4 are all better than they've been the last few years. But I'm going to have to really think about this. I mean, even West Ham, they've only won half their games.
Yeah. It's a poor season so far.
Man United have lost 5. Man United have dropped 8, dropped points in 8 games as well. Arsenal have a -1 goal difference. Yeah, you can say Tottenham are best placed, but even they've played some of the worst football of any team I've seen this season. I mean, it's been a disgraceful.
I'm going to be honest. The fact that we're still talking about top 4 and potentially getting in that position shows how poor the season's been. I'm sorry, with our results.
Yeah.
Should we look at the fixtures? Because obviously we're playing tonight, some other games, and I didn't even realise that they're flooding into tomorrow as well. But we know United's game at Brentford was postponed. Villa doing the job at Norwich. Leeds put up a real fight at City, losing 7-0. And then Brighton, Wolves, and Palace, Southampton are playing tonight. Burnley, Watford's been postponed with the 8 o'clock kickoff. And then tomorrow, Leicester, Tottenham, if that goes ahead, although they are both trying to get that postponed as well. And you can understand why. I think Leicester have 9 positive COVID cases. Chelsea play Everton, and then Liverpool, Newcastle. So, yeah, all eyes on us. Is that fair to say? I think we're the game of the week, really, aren't we?
Yeah, Leicester Tottenham is up there as well. But yeah, I mean, the winner of our game ends the week in top 4, I believe, or am I mistaken there?
Ends this match week, so
yeah. So going into the weekend, we'll be top 4. Obviously, it's a bit of a false position if you consider Tottenham's couple games, and Man United will also have a game or 2 depending on how their weekend goes in terms of games in hand. But I'd rather points on the board than games in hand. Games in hand for Arsenal in the past haven't paid dividends, so we'll take the points today. If we can go top 4 today, does it give me confidence? No, but it will show me something different, because every time it comes to a point where Arsenal need to win to either keep up in the battle or to take lead in a battle, we let ourselves down. This time, let's see if we can get it done. We're at home. And again, as much as it's West Ham and as much as they have been better than us over the last couple of years, I still say it. Moyes and Arteta came into both clubs at a similar time. 2 years in, Arsenal should be beating West Ham at home. Facts. If we don't, then, the questions keep on pouring in, as they always do after every result anyway.
Yep. Big day.
Yeah. Predictions?
Are you not fit? Are you not confident? Are you any too confident? Like, if you got that, that little match day buzz, like, come on, this is it. Nope.
Everton was a week ago?
Yeah.
When was Everton? Just over a week
2 weeks,
ago.
no, a week and a week and a half back. Yeah, a week and a half ago.
No, I still have sleepless nights over that one.
Yeah, same. Come on, Turkish, bro. Come on, what you saying? 3-0 Arsenal. I know you're confident.
3-0? 5, bro.
Bro, how you got me there still?
How are you that gullible? How did you hear Turkish just say everything he's been saying about, show me something before we actually win this game? He goes 5-0, and you're like,
Because I set him up for, come on, 3-0, and him to be, a bit like, nah, come on, Cecil, fix up. But then when he said 5, mate, listen, caught me by surprise.
2-2.
2-2, yeah?
That's my thing, 2-2.
3-3.
All right, James, 3 again. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me. I don't know. No, let me predict an Arsenal win. Let me be surprised today. 2-0 Arsenal. Why not?
Right, you went for
Enjoy my night. Enjoy my night. Yeah, 2-0. Might be 2-1, but I'll go 2-0. Keep a clean sheet. Come on, Ramsdale.
Say no more. If Arsenal win tonight, you're going to catch Cecil on all social media platforms live tonight. Twitter, catch him there. You catch him on TikTok, Insta, all of that. He'll be covering the whole night.
So basically, I got a tight quad. I got a tight quad, so I can't do
tight quad.
Can't do that. It's a proper serious injury. Can't do that. Tight quad tonight. But you can catch you on the Twitter space after the game, guys. Come and join me. Let's talk about the game, whether we win or lose or draw. Come and get involved. Let's just hash out our feelings as a fan base, and I might even do a little cheeky player ratings on the Twitter space with you all. So yeah,
I'm interested to see Bowen versus Tomiyasu tonight.
Tomiyasu.
Can you play on that side, though?
Well, Bowen, he kind of goes both sides, Bowen. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he
flips.
flanks a lot. So I'm interested to see him against both, to be honest.
Turkish, what's that? Fluidity? What is this? What do you mean?
Yeah.
He's the right winger. What do you mean he's going to be on the left?
I think the word you're looking for is process, mate.
Of course. Sorry, I didn't recite my lines before. I forgot. Yeah.
Trust it, James. Trust it. Trust that process, man. That's what you. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm intrigued, man, because Bowen does like to switch flanks often, and Tierney, I think we know defensively what he's about. Tomiyasu, we've learned well so far this season, but I always like to see the defense tested and whatnot, because it gives you a better understanding of what they are and who they are as a unit. So
Defense, I actually think since that first Norwich game, defense has done its job. Even in the big defeats, the defense has largely done its job. I think it's what's in front of them that's let them down. And even in the best defense, if you put them under immense pressure for 90 minutes, the Ramoses of this world have been part of great defensive that conceded 4 or 5. It's just, we've got to do the job in midfield.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see Pepe tonight? Pepe or Nketiah? Do you think we'll see? Actually, it's more
No.
Pepe. Do you think we'll see Pepe? No.
We probably
No.
won't. If I'm honest, but who knows? Who thought we'd see Eddie Nketiah 2 weeks ago, and then we've seen enough of him since. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm too blunt with it. Sometimes I say things, I look at you two's faces, yeah, and it's like, shit, what have I just said? I go, luckily it's not too bad. Listen, it is what it
No,
is.
it's not too bad. It's what it is. Turkish, you kill me though.
Listen,
Wait, yeah.
is that it then? Predictions are in, starting 11's in. Any last minute thoughts, James? Yes?
Just remember, we'll be playing top squad.
That's it. Yeah, I need to get my top squad done before the watch along starts in about 20 minutes or so. 7:45. The watch along is running. I see a super chat from Stress earlier. It's gone off the screen now, but yeah, we are doing a watch along. It'll start 2:45 as always. Us three in the building, and yeah, make sure you join us there.
Yeah, perfect.